What is up, y'all? It is your girl, Brand New, and I'm back in the building. Today, I will be doing the Tamar and Vince. It's going to be a recap. I'm not going through the scenes. I'm going to just go off of what was the most important things that happened and what I got out of it. First off, I want to say it was very disturbing watching this episode. I definitely feel, I don't know if I had any doubts of any abuse before, they have went away. I definitely, from looking at this episode, can tell that he has abused her. And yes, it's all alleged, but from my opinion, I feel like something may have happened. Vince seemed very different. I don't know if you guys got that. People have been saying that online for a while. You know, he shows one face to the cameras and another one off the camera. And I get that there are a lot of people in the world that do that. But this time on this episode, I saw that in him. And the part that where I really saw that at is when they were all sitting at the table. It was Vince and Tamar, you know, and her two friends, the gay guys. They was there. They are her hairstylist, and I think one is maybe an assistant or something. I'm not sure what the other guy is. I know the Patty Pie guy is James. I really like him. I like both of those guys. They're really funny and entertaining. And I was questioning, why did Tamar want them around all the time? And I think that honestly, she always keeps people around because she's scared of Vince and how he's going to react. So let me get to that part. So I call this part the Velcro part. They were all sitting at the table, and Tamar was basically stating that she felt, because she's been married to Vince for about 14 years, and she basically felt scattered and smothered, you know, and she mentioned, you know, like at the Waffle House. And it was just weird. It was weird that she put it like that. And Vince was looking at her like, what? You know, why did you say that like that? And all I can remember, honey, is he was just like, you need to shut the fuck up. And when I tell you, my motherfucking mouth dropped, James and the other guy, they mouths both dropped, eyes were big. I was shocked to hear Vince say that. So that part right there let me know that there is a pretty good chance some abuse is going on, because normally if your spouse is cussing at you like that in front of people, they don't care. I don't know, y'all. It just really, it didn't sit well with me. Tamar had began talking about, and Tamar was shocked and embarrassed as well, but they continued having a conversation, and she was just trying to explain to him what you wanted 25-26 is not what you wanted 35-36. Completely agree with Tamar with everything she was saying, and I know you guys are probably shocked because I was getting on Tamar's ass, and like I said, I'm not really on either one side. I see the faults in both of them. But specifically this episode, I was probably more here for what Tamar is saying. She was just basically saying that when you're in a relationship, you want to grow, you want to be an individual still, and her relationship is just work. It's work, and then they have their personal relationship, and then the work relationship is getting in the way of the personal relationship. And Vince was very offended by all these comments. He wants the Velcro relationship. And I think he wants that kind of relationship. He said that, oh, well, that's how I look at love. You know, that's love to me. No, Vince, that's not love. That's control. And the control leads to the abuse because you want to control everything. I noticed in a couple of the scenes in the episode, he walked away. That's another control method and tactic. walking away out the blue. And, and I get you get frustrated. And there have been times where Tamar was a bit extra. And, I didn't mind him walking away, but I'm beginning to see a motherfucking pattern, Vince. And it just don't look good for you, buddy. It just don't look good. Vince, while they was at the table, began saying to her, your opinion doesn't overrule everything. When she was talking about how she felt like their relationship was a lot like Velcro. And he was saying, everything is not always about you. I noticed during this part, the friends, they began to feel uncomfortable. And Vince had a point with that as far as everything is not about Tamar. No, it's not, Vince, but you have to listen to your wife. You clearly want to make all the decisions business-wise in a relationship. You want things to stay the same because you can be in control of everything. You can run everything. Tamar had mentioned, I don't want nobody checking up on me all the time, treat me like a little fucking girl. And I don't want, I want to be a grown-ass woman. I want to be my own businesswoman, And she didn't say that at the table, but I believe she said that in one of her confessionals. And while she was talking with her friends, because there was some times where she was away from Vince and she was saying things like that. I completely understand that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's healthy in a relationship. A lot of people feel like, codependent people feel like you're abandoning the relationship if you're not with your partner all the time. To me, that's a way to end the relationship, Nobody should be with that person all the time unless you could really stand it and there's a reason you guys are always together. But I don't want to always be up under somebody. I got my own things going for me. I understand where Tamar is coming from, and it is impacting, their relationship. So yeah, the friends felt uncomfortable. Hell, everybody watching this whole episode felt uncomfortable. Then they get to Vince told, somebody brought up her show in DC coming up, and they asked how the ticket sales were going, and Vince told Tamar tickets were sold out in 26 hours for both shows. And then Tamar ends up getting upset. He didn't tell her. Then Vince made some comment about how he feels like, well, you don't tell everybody everything. You don't tell your artists everything. You don't want their head to get big. And then she was like, well, why wouldn't you tell me? And I need to know those type of things. And that's important for me to know. And he wasn't trying to hear it. He was just like, it's just certain stuff you don't tell your artists. You don't want their head to get big. I'm saying that in general. I'm not saying that about you. Vince, you's a motherfucking lie. You meant that about Tamar. And that's why she got offended. And she admitted that she was offended. So they end up going back and forth, honey, and Vince ends up walking off. Look, that's one of the walk-offs. So next, just Tamar was, talking about how she's ready to separate the business from the personal. And girl, we see that you need to do exactly that. Because this is not working out anymore. And she just mentioned that she's willing to sacrifice the business for the personal. But my question is this. Have Vince and Tamar outgrown each other? In my opinion, they have. Like James said, they are not on the same page. They are definitely going in different directions. Vince does not want Tamar in control of her career from what it looks like. He wants to continue to do everything. Tamar also had mentioned in the episode, well, you want to be able to tell your manager how you feel without them going off on you and hitting you. And she even mentioned, I was like, damn, did you just admit he be hitting you? So I felt really bad for her to say that, because abuse is not good. He definitely, like I said, shouldn't have been her manager this long. And that's not completely Vince's fault. That's Tamar's fault as well, because you have to, soon as you saw this type of stuff happening, Tamar, you should have separated from him as far as the business is concerned. I noticed when Braxton Family Values started, it was, oh, I want my own solo career. And she was kind of begging him so they could get started. But, once that Love and War and all that shit popped off, Tamar, you should have been saying, honey, I want to do this now with this person. I want to move on. You shouldn't have stayed in this. Because to me, there were warning signs probably a long time ago. So anyways, they have a scene where Vince and Benzino, they go and eat crabs. And Vince tells Benzino, they talk about the trip in Mexico, how there's always people around. And Vince tried to say in Mexico that he wasn't mad at Tamar or anyone. He didn't have an attitude with anyone. He was thinking about work. Vince, you's a motherfucking lie. You's a lie, honey. You was upset in Mexico. You did not want James and the other guy around. You wanted your wife to yourself. You kept walking off from the table. You kept getting offended about certain shit. So you didn't have a good time. I don't know why he sat up there and lied to Benzino. And Benzino, I think, saw through the bullshit. He's just like, you're not happy with her always having all these people around. Y'all was supposed to, do something together. But I feel like Tamar got the people around Vince because she think you go upside her head. I really do. I really feel like that because at first it was looking like, Tamar, why the fuck you got all these people around and you talking about your marriage is suffering? But you probably got them around, so I don't know. Maybe they could see how he acts and what he does, and it won't be your word against his. This episode, you guys, really revealed where their relationship is. Tamar even mentioned in the episode somewhere that the way things are going, somebody's going to file for something. And I really do believe that. Okay, so let's get to the release date. Tamar and Vince, they're back at home from Mexico. And the release date has been changed. Tamar is mad at Vince. And Vince is saying he had nothing to do with it. He says it's the marketing department. And Tamar is freaking out because she feels like everybody is coming out on that date. And I also noticed Tamar making a comment to her friend later on that, whenever I try to approach Vince about certain things, and if I have a different opinion from his, it's shade. And Tamar, sometimes you do say things in an offensive way. So what I do notice with these two is if they both are guilty of this, they both need to learn how to talk to each other. It's always, I'm saying this, and then I'm offended that you said that. Vince, you can't get mad that she got a different opinion than you. You guys have to talk and compromise. But I personally feel the relationship is over. I think Tamar is better off moving on. Their relationship seems very unhealthy to me. So there is a local news crew. Tamar is getting ready to perform, and she finds out there's some local news crew is waiting to interview her. Tamar is really frustrated about it because she said that, before a show, she should be relaxing and getting her, vocalizing, just focusing on her performance before she goes on stage. She can't do that. She's upset with Vince, calls him. And she's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? She's aggravated, and Vince is, he's in his shell because he don't like how she's coming at him. Like I said, y'all, they have an issue with how both of them snap off at each other. When you are having a conversation with somebody, you always want to keep a level tone. That way nobody gets offended and defensive. Because once they do that, it's going to go down hill from there, and that's what's been happening throughout this whole entire fucking episode. So then I noticed the ending scene where Vince tells the camera crew that he doesn't want to film. And before Tamar got off the phone with Vince, she was saying, well, you know what? I'll do everything by myself then. You don't tell me shit anyway. She was all in that state. And yeah, Vince told the camera crew he didn't want to film, and he's talking to Logan, and then the guy, I thought it was funny, he was like, VH, this is your show. Why you call that man VH? Just say, Vince, this is your show. I thought that was so funny. But yeah, this shit is a train wreck. I see why she filed for divorce. Definitely, this is one of the episodes where you could just feel the tension. You can cut that shit with a knife. You could definitely feel that their relationship is abusive, is controlling. They've outgrown each other. They was at a radio station in the episode as well. I noticed Tamar is always talking about Vince being skinny daddy now. Like I said before, y'all, she don't like that he didn't lost this weight because she feel like he's changed. I do still feel she wants to be the only skinny person in the relationship. And that could be because she likes bigger guys, or some people are like that though. They funny like that. They don't want nobody healthy or being their best self. Maybe she is afraid for his health if he has the surgery. She says she is. So, that's pretty much what that is. But I don't feel like she completely supports his weight loss journey at all. She's always referencing it in a sarcastic way. Oh, he's skinny now, so he may just take a selfie on you and everybody thinks I'm the diva and he's really the diva now. And it's like, girl, just be happy your man lost weight. You should be just talking about your project. But like I said, you guys, I'm not on either one side. They both played a part in this. But like I said, I definitely felt the tension. I felt that there's abuse. I felt the energy. Really quick before I get off, Vince had a conversation with Benzino. And Benzino had said, oh, well, that's what happens when you get married, Tamar. You Velcro. That's what it is. And I feel like that is a very isolated way to look at a marriage. Just because a person is asking for more space doesn't mean they don't love you. Tamar needs individuality. She needs to be her own woman. She's way too opinionated to take orders from Vince and do everything the way he wants to do it. At first in her career, she was very inexperienced, very unprofessional, and she had some bad qualities to her that he balanced out and helped her, I can tell, in business. But now Tamar has matured a little bit. I'll give her that. She has matured and realized some things. She made total sense this episode. She really did. I understood, where she was coming from. I'm just upset Vince didn't get it. But like I said, I don't think he was able to receive it because it was the way she was communicating and how he was communicating with her. He does strike me as the type that if you say something different from what he's feeling, he's going to get offended and walk away. And that's very abusive in a relationship. A lot of times people think that just putting your hands on somebody or cussing at them is abusive. Like what he said at that table, telling her to shut the fuck up, that was abusive. So all of that is abusive. It's disrespectful. It's saying that we're going to do it my way and I don't want to hear what you have to say. And it's always been the way it's been. And I don't want things to change. I think he kind of said that he didn't want things to change. And it's like, you cannot be like that if you really truly love and want the best for this woman. So that's pretty much what I have to say on the episode, you guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. It is your girl, Brand New, and I'm out.